Hi, this is Neha Biswas, and you're watching ETimes. Today, we have the very talented and gorgeous Nushrratt Bharuccha with us, who is all set to scare everybody with her upcoming horror film. So, over to you, Nushrratt. Welcome to ETimes.
Hi, thank you for having me, guys.
Hi, you look gorgeous, absolutely stunning today.
Arey,
So,
thank you. Yeah.
so tell me about your film. I mean, I just saw the trailer, and it literally gave me like goosebumps. So, I am interested to know how has been the response so far. After seeing the trailer.
It's been a great response, yeah. I think for a horror film to still tell the audiences what the film is, but still not tell the audiences what the film is a very tricky space to be in. So our teaser, our trailer, our leading on campaign has to be just about right to get you intrigued, but still get you to watch much more of it and not tell you a lot. So it's a tough one to crack, and just the response to the teasers. I mean, people have understood exactly what we're trying to tell them in just that much, and that's great. So we've kind of achieved our initial first step target of getting this done. So I'm very glad. I mean, I've been asking people what did they understand of the teaser, and the answers are pretty much exactly what we wanted to tell them. So that way it's kind of communicated correctly. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's like it's such a short teaser, but then it sort of summed up everything right in its place. So I'm looking forward to the film. And moving on, so like this, so Chhorii is going to be, a different sort of horror film. That's what at least I understood from the teaser. So can you please tell us more about it?
I think the attempt is to do abhi horror. Everybody knows what horror is going to be. When you start watching the film, you'll also start thinking, oh, is that's something there, something there, something there. That's basically the thrill of horror. But I think what we wanted to do with this film is to kind of set a different space for horror. You can scare people in different places. I mean, if you look at a film called Quiet Place, you couldn't even think that this could be the fear of it, because the fear is of the unknown, and the unknown is so vast that you can pick right about anything and it could be scary. Like, I mean, walking into a dilapidated building could be really scary, but what is it? It's just concrete, it's a building. So I feel like we want to change the language of horror by trying to do a horror in a space which is slightly more different, which has a few more relatable sort of elements, but still elements which you cannot relate to, which is what will scare you. That how is this happening? Sorry, but I'm living in the 21st century in the world like this. How can this happen? But it is happening. So I feel we've kind of mixed a couple of things there, and we have a great team in place. Yeah, I mean, Abundancia as a production house, the creative structure of that company, the minds, their basic taste is just so correct and clear and so mature and so different that I feel like the film is in the right hands. We have Vishal sir, who's done the previous film, and he is an absolute fan of horror. He loves horror. And for somebody to be so passionate about horror as a genre, you just know that the film is in the right hands. They're not doing it for any other effect. They're not doing it for, your instant cheap thrill. It's not that. It's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be a one that stays. You will be quiet after the film. You'll really just go silent. It's just going to be like, oh, it just settles in. So I feel like we've kind of we've done a great job with the film. The team has done a great job with the film, and I hope it kind of drives in the way we are attempting it to the audiences, at least.
It sounds very promising, I must tell you.
Thank
And especially for me because I love horror
you.
films.
See, there you go. So you see, correct.
Yeah, and so this actually, I mean, this after listening to your answer, I want to ask you, how did you prepare for your role? Because we have seen you in the teaser as a pregnant lady. So, like, what did you do to prepare yourself for the role?
So I've never been pregnant, so I wouldn't actually ever understand what it truly means to feel when you're pregnant, when you have a life inside
Exactly.
you. I think it's a great unknown for me,
Mhm.
and I was most afraid of that as well. I tried to do as much as I possibly could. We made a stomach, like a prosthetic whole stomach for me,
Mhm.
which was roughly the same weight of what an 8-month-old baby in a womb could be. So I was actually wearing that bodysuit through the day. I slept in it, I went to the bathroom in it, I lived in it for days, just so I'm able to understand how difficult it is when you have so much weight you're carrying. It's the first practical hurdle, is that your weight is not your own body weight anymore. Your legs are not standing on your 30-40 kgs. It's that plus whatever else kgs that is, which you're not used to carrying every day.
Hmm.
And 24 hours, like, you're with it. Also, you have to be very careful because there's a life inside it which you can't do certain movements and actions in. Or maybe your pregnancy is such where you can do movements and you're comfortably doing it, it's not affecting anything. So I think I had to put myself in that physical state as much as I could to be able to take things from it. Emotionally, I had to ask people. So I asked friends, I asked family, I asked different mothers what they felt at different times, and I
Mhm.
kind of pieced her together. So I took the strength of from one mother, then I said, how did you go to the loo? How did you walk? How did you run? What did you feel? I took that from another person. So I kind of took from people around me, put something together, and made a sort of a character and a graph with of physicalities and emotional baggage to kind of play her right in those situations. But you also have to understand the situations Sakshi is stuck in the film is not an ordinary situation. It's an extraordinary situation. And even as human beings, when we are put in such tough conditions and situations, we end up doing things you'd never even think of doing. So, of course, you then end up in certain reactions which you might feel like ये तो possibility नहीं है, but वो होता है, वो
Hmm.
आपके साथ भी होगा. If I put you in a situation this strenuous, you will run for your life. At that time, your 8-month-old baby with that stomach, you will still run. But in a normal this thing, you'll be like, यार ये ऐसे भाग तो सकती नहीं, but वो भाग सकती है. So those things we had to kind of be truthful and real to, which we hopefully did.
Absolutely, yeah. It was very much visible in the teaser. And then, so like this is your second horror film, if I may say so. So, what keeps you trying this genre, if I may ask you?
Uh, I guess an interesting script, a
Mhm.
well-written film, something new to do, something more interesting to do. Yeah, this one was a very correct choice, I feel, because you had everybody right in the film,
Hmm.
right from the concept to the writing to the director to the producers. I think we just all collaborated on the same vision and we were in sync through the film. And when your whole team is in sync, the product just comes out exactly how we envisioned it. Now, whether that's accepted or rejected is, I mean, time will tell. That's for audiences and you all to tell us. We just made what
Definitely.
we truly believed in. So, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So, Chhorii is a film, where you are going to be the lead actor there as a female actor. Okay. So, do you think that puts you in a very tight spot for the film, because you are going to lead the entire film?
No, why would it put me in a tough spot? It's a great spot. Uh, no, I mean, if you mean from terms of pressure of the film doing well or not, it's not just my job for the film to do well. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
other things that have to be right. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be written right, it has to be directed right, it has to be edited right. It needs to have so many things that work for the film to do well. And there is nothing larger or bigger than a film. We are honestly just characters that act in a film. I don't think I am in a space or a place where that is the pressure I can take on, or I can't get up and I've never been able to say that the film is working because of me or people are here for me. No, they are here to watch me in a film, but they're here for the film, and that's just always a larger picture for me. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just so we are about to just wrap up our session. I only have one last question for you, and that is recently you picked up on an injury on the sets of Janhit Mein Jari, and you're like shooting back to back. So how do you keep up with your fitness?
I have actually lost my fitness. I don't know if you can see them, but anyway, I have been unwell and falling sick from July. I first had a neck injury, then I had a back injury, then I had vertigo, then I sprained my leg. I've been in and out of injuries from July to now. But I've not been able to, I mean, I had to take a break when I had vertigo because I really couldn't get up.
Mm-hmm.
When I sprained my leg on Janhit, we were shooting a song. I couldn't shoot the song, of course, they had to shoot it later. But the next day, I was standing on one leg and shooting because I couldn't take a break. So my assistant directors and my staff were holding me from the waist while I stood on one leg and did my scenes.
That sounds painful.
Uh, yeah, but it would be more painful for me if the production had lost money of that day's shooting because of me and my injury. I can't live with that guilt. So I'm like, I'm showing up to work. We'll shoot it, and I shot. Simple.
That's amazing. So I hope we'll catch up soon for more leads from the film, and
We
all
will.
the best. I'm waiting to watch it.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, take care. Bye.
All right, see you. Bye.